The Opium Wars were two conflicts that took place in the 19th century between China and Britain. The first conflict started when China tried to stop opium from being smuggled into their country. There was a lot of demand for Chinese goods like tea and porcelain in Britain at this time, but the Chinese did not want to trade British goods for other commodities. Instead, they demanded silver as payment. Some innovative British merchants came up with a different strategy rather than allowing the nation's silver reserves to be depleted. They imported Indian opium, which was effectively under British control at the time, into China. They demanded silver as payment for the drug, which could be used to purchase Chinese goods. Millions of Chinese became dependent on opium by the 1830s, causing significant harm to the nation's health and productivity. The Chinese were inhaling a significant amount of opium that had been imported by the British. Even though it was against the law to import opium, corrupt Chinese officials allowed it to happen on a large scale. The Chinese government made the decision to crack down on smuggling in 1839. It directed the seizure of substantial quantities of opium from British merchants in the Chinese port of Canton, the sole region of the country where Europeans were permitted to conduct business. The outraged merchants sought assistance from the British government, and this time they found a ready audience. Britain had long aspired to expand its reach in China. This seemed like the ideal time to accomplish that objective. In June 1840, a British naval fleet arrived and attacked the Chinese coast. After a series of military defeats, the Chinese agreed to sign humiliating peace terms because of the British's superior military technology. These stipulated that China would pay a significant fine to Britain, open 5 additional ports to foreign trade, lease the island of Hong Kong to the British for 99 years, and provide British citizens with special legal rights in China. China later referred to this agreement as the Unequal Treaty. Therefore, that was the initial Opium War. What brought about the second one? The situation remained tense, with China humiliated and Britain seeking additional gains. In 1856, Chinese officers searched a British-registered Chinese-owned ship and lowered the British flag, igniting the second conflict. The French, who also had aspirations in China and were protesting the assassination of one of their missionaries in the country, joined the British on their second military expedition in response to this insult. The European powers were, as always, too powerful for the Chinese. In 1858, a peace agreement was made, but China pulled out the next year. In 1860, as a result of this, an even larger Anglo-French force stormed Beijing. By the end of October, the Chinese had to agree to British and French terms that allowed foreign powers to keep diplomats in Beijing and made the opium trade legal.